Hi, this is Mrs. Apodaca, here to give you one last video for the year. Now that you have learned all of your lowercase and capital letters in cursive, I'm going to show you how to write a note to your mother for Mother's Day. The note reads like this. My Mother's Love is the title. Of all the joys in life, the big ones and small, a mother's hugs and kisses are the greatest of all. Let's go ahead and begin. Get yourself in proper handwriting position. I will show you each line so that your teacher will be able to pause and you can write each line as we go. To begin, I am a right-handed person, so I have my right corner up, of course. And then for the very top line, I'm going to go in about a thumb's length in. This is so that you are indented for your title. First word is going to be my. So now that I know where to begin, I'm going to begin below the top line, hook up, straight down, reverse, go back up, one hump for a capital, two humps for a capital M. Now, since I have a low connector, I'll go directly into my Y, making my letters nice and skinny. My, ghost O, mothers. Let's begin with another M. Hook, down, reverse, hump over, oops, and then go into your O, reverse, come back. It's a high connector, so go into your T. Here's my H. I loop over a little bit, so I have room for it. Come straight back down, E. Here's my R, midline, scoop down, and then tuck in, and then let's go for an S. In between the R and the S, you'll need to put an apostrophe from the top line down. Go back and cross your T. There you go. My mother's love. Ghost O. Begin at the midline, loop up, come down, backward loop, and then swoop down below there, down below the baseline. Now let's begin with our O, very close. O, come down. It's one hump over, one U-turn, then you come down, and then you go into your E. My mother's love. Your turn. We'll continue with the first line, of all the joys in life. So beginning just below the top line and at the very edge of your line of lined paper, let's go up, over, around. Once we close it, make a little loop inside there and come up to the top line. Go back down to the baseline of, make a long loop there, straight down below in the descending space, and a low connector of, ghost O, all, A. Again, I'm really trying to make my letters very skinny. L, L, of all, ghost O, start again on the other side, the, here's my H, E, cross my T, of all the, ghost O, here's my J, J, O, high connector, go into the Y, Swoop down below, then make my S, dot my J, don't forget that, it makes it a J, of all the joys in life. In Gusto Life, L, I, here's my F, dot your I, and then here we need to go ahead and put a comma, that's the baseline, and put a little wiggle line down below. Your turn. For our next line, I think I'm going to change it just a little bit and add the word the before small. So it's going to be saying the big ones and the small. Let's try to make it work. Beginning at the very edge of the paper once again. You begin just below the top line. You're going to make your cap or your hat for the T. Go into the middle part, okay? And then you're gonna come down, straight down to the baseline. Go up, and then make your little boat. That's your T. Let's make the H, the, Gusto, big, loop up, come down, U-turn right there, and an I. It's a high connector, then go into your G at the baseline, down below, and end it that way. Dot your I, the big Gusto, once, O, dip into my N, has to have 2 humps, not a stick. I've seen sticks before when I'm checking your notebooks. It needs to be 2 humps for the N. Even if you have to dip down, pretend like you're starting at the baseline and coming up, but you are dipping down from the O because that's a high connector. So scoop up, hump over, so you have 2 humps. The big ones, and Gusto, and A, N, here's my 2 humps, just like that. But that begins at the baseline, and then my D, top, down, and, okay, so let's make this work. Gusto, T. When you are writing a poem, you need to make sure that all of the words that are within the line are actually in one line. And the, because it makes it all rhyme and come together. The big ones and the, we have enough room now. Gusto, S, M, 3 humps, A, L, L. Just enough room, oops, for all of the word. And the small will need another comma, baseline, squiggle line down. The big ones and the small. Make that all fit onto one line if you can. Thank you, and I'll see you in a little bit. We're ready to write our next line. Be sure and always go back and look at what you have written. Make sure that it is all the letters that are there that you wanted to write. So my mother's love of all the joys in life, the big ones and the small. Next line will be a mother's hugs and kisses. So again, let's begin at the very edge of the paper. Capital A, over, around, straight up, straight back down with a kick. That is your capital A. Gusto, mother's. Baseline, 3 humps. 1, 2, 3. Then we go into the O. high connectors, so go into the T, H, E, R, dip down, come down. Make your S, even though we are going to be putting an apostrophe up here. Top line, in between the R and the S, you need to put an apostrophe because that tells us that something belongs to Mother. What belongs to her? Hugs and kisses. Next word, hugs. Gusto. Begin with your H. U. G. S. Hugs. Gusto. And A. N. D. Straight up, straight back down. And then we have enough room for kisses. So gusto, begin with your lowercase k. Loop, come down, go to the midline, not past it. Stay inside underneath. And then there's your K, I, S. Another S. Make your S's with a point at the top. E, S. That's a kiss. Let me see. Kiss, kisses. And then dot your I. When you dot your I, be sure it's just a single little dot, not a big circle. Your turn, write this line. Our last line will be, are the greatest of all. Let's begin on the very edge of our paper, beginning with the capital A, R, it's a low connector, so you can go straight into your R. Dip down, come down. R, gusto, the, T, H, E, cross your T, R, the, gusto, greatest, begin with a G, up, over, reverse. Here's an R, dip down, make it a point right there for each part. Here's A, T, let's go into E, grade S, point, belly in the front, greatest, cross your T, cross this T, greatest, gusto, here's my of all, gusto, make my A, L, L, and oops, touch the top line of all, and then here's our exclamation point, top line, down below the midline, then stop, and then make your dot on the baseline. Are the greatest of all. I'm sure your mothers will thoroughly enjoy receiving this from you. And I also want to let you know that you are good to go with your manuscript and cursive and writing correctly. Always do your very best. Your teachers will very much appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing your work in the hallways and possibly in your notebooks next year. But I thoroughly enjoyed teaching you how to write correctly, and do it every single year, and it will be easier and easier. Bye for now.